So where can our
Howdy, hi, and hello, internet world out there. Mike Idle from Beer Money Pulling Team upstairs in the office, hanging out. Going to be starting off the show right here. Don't worry, all you die-hard Jason Schultz fans. He is going to be on the show momentarily, but the dial-up internet that they're still using in Wisconsin is very laggy at the moment. So he had to make sure that he was kicking all of his friends off the shared landline that they use. He was going to plug in, hardwire, reboot his computer, and he'll be with us very, very soon. But in the meantime, let's talk tractor pulling in New York. Now, gentlemen, I only just met you folks 5 seconds before showtime. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us quickly what pull we're talking about, and tell us where we're hanging out tonight. I see some beautiful iron behind you folks right now.
So my name's Rich Horton. I've grown up in the sport. I'm going to be 50 this year. My father started in the 60s, and I tell people it's been our drug of choice. Made us work hard, and that's what we spend our money on. This is a friend of mine, Chris Cameroni, very talented individual. He's pretty green to the sport, but very, very, very knowledgeable.
Excellent. So what role do you guys play in promoting the pull that you're putting on? And tell us the name of the pull and give us the real quick rundown of how long it's been going and what we need to know about it.
So this is our third year. Two pretty big charities, Ronald McDonald House Charities in the Northeast. A lot of local families have used that here locally and all around us. And then the other one is the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which we're all familiar with that. We started this 3 years. Like I said, this is our third season. We've donated over 17,000 back in the first 2 years. It's just something, well, when I first started it or thought of it, my friend Chris says, "You're crazy. That's a lot of money. You're never going to pay for it." Well, I says, I'm not a gambler, and it's going to pay for itself, and we're going to make money. And here we are today. So weather's the big thing.
So this is, do we have the right overlay up here? This is the Pull for the Kids, the third annual Washington County Pull for the Kids. And you'd mentioned charities that this goes to benefit. Tell us, give us the date, give us the show time. And then you mentioned weather a little bit. We'll talk about that as well. But also tell us maybe what classes we're going to be looking at and who's going to be sanctioning this pull and what viewers might expect to see.
So it starts Sunday, July 14th at 10 a.m. We start with a lot of local stuff. We got the kids involved last year with their garden tractors. You can see that behind us. Garden tractors, stock trucks, some hot farm tractors is our first venue. We're trying to run them from like 10 to 2, 10 to 3. Then we get done, have a quick window to redo the track, and then we're sanctioned with New York Tractor Pullers Association, and we have which is a Lucas Oil.
Okay,
no, sorry, not Lucas Oil. Pro Pulling League.
Yeah.
That's
a state level. That's a PPL state level sanctioning. You would say it then.
First pull for the
first pull for NYTPA for the season this year. Leap year screwed up the schedule a little bit, kicked us up a couple weeks to get away from a local county fair that came back on our weekend. So we'll make it work as long as this hurricane coming up from Texas doesn't screw things up too bad. But,
yeah, I saw something about that, and I tell you what, here in the Midwest and kind of in the higher portions of the Midwest, we're soaked, we're saturated, and that's the last thing that we need is more rain. So in the NYTPA, what are some of your guys' cornerstone classes, and what specific lineup will you guys have for the New York Tractor Pullers Association this upcoming weekend?
The club started, like I said, I've been affiliated with the club for many years, my family. And then I grew into it. It started with just modified two-wheel drives and super stocks. And since we have a mod turbo and super farm combined class, which we're going to have at this event, we're going to have a 4x4 gas truck, which is a fairly new class to the organization, diesel super stocks, and we're running a 2-wheel drive super modified. Those guys weren't involved the first year, really wanted to be involved, went out and raised some money for their purse so they could be part of it the following year, and they've been a big help. So you guys have dealt with a lot of people. I call it grassroots. Everybody kind of works together, and we got a great team. I definitely, Chris, we don't do it with just the two of us at all.
How has the pull changed and progressed? So 3 years, that's one of the younger or newer pulls that I've kind of been around or that we see on this show. What have you learned over those 3 years, and how much have things changed from year one now going into year three?
Attendance is key.
Yeah.
Not tractors, but people.
Right. General admission is what really pays for it. Our biggest thing has been this is the second year in a row that we've had the same schedule as far as event schedule, what time, who's pulling when. So trying to get that established, I think, is going to be the biggest key. That's the biggest thing that's changed. I don't know if a Sunday pull is actually the best, but we do start early for the sanction stuff, so everybody has time to get home and get to work for Monday morning. We start at 5, hope to be done by 9 with the sanctioned event, and obviously start in early in the morning with the other stuff.
Rich, is your page is what's your Facebook page, Rich? I want to bring that up. Or Chris,
Washington County School for Kids.
Okay, got it.
Jason, we got a trivia question for you.
Go ahead, buddy.
They told me to put you on the spot. You ever been in Greenwich, New York?
Yes, sir. 2016.
Whoa!
How about that, boy?
They didn't think you'd remember at all. I said, put him in the hot corner if he doesn't nail it.
It is the home of 1066 farm tractors, and and the day track was dustier than shit, and then the night track was money. I mean, like legit money.
Right, you're probably prepping it.
Yeah, I was.
No, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Do you see the miniature 1066 in the back, Jason?
I do. I like that a lot.
That's just for you. That's no patience.
Yeah, that's me. When God gave out patience, I was not in line. I had to reboot my router, guys. I just got home from the Ozarks about 10 minutes ago. Sorry about that. So I want to get going.
Yeah, you spent a weekend down in God's country then. But no, I told everyone that you had to kick all your neighbors off the party line because the Wisconsin dial-up really struggles. So just to give them a minute, but good to see you back, and good to know that that dial-up internet's working again.
Hey, I'm back. Guess who's back?
So did you guys say you're doing a combined class? Now, this is something that we see out east that's not uncommon, and it's a really interesting concept to us here in the Midwest, something we don't do a lot of. You said the super farms are going to run a combined class along with who else?
The super farms run with that tractor there is what they call a mod turbo. It's very similar to a light pro. It's a 540 cubic inch with an A pump. That's the limiting factor. A pump, no intercooler. Spin whatever turbo you want. They weigh 8,500, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the super farms weigh in at 93.
Yeah.
Depending on the track, hook position, pretty competitive class.
Yeah, the track length is really critical to kind of keep it competitive. If you get the mod turbos rolling over 310 feet, 315 feet, it's hard to keep everybody lined up. So the combo class has its positive and negatives, but it does work.
Is there a turbocharger limit when you're talking 540 cubes and 8,500 pounds? That reminds me of like a light pro stock that we see through here. But the big thing with the light pros, there's typically no charger limit. Is there a charger size limit?
Yeah, it's a 4.5 inch exhaust, trim, and then they don't have an intake size because they don't have the fuel to put towards it. It's only 1,300 cc's you can really get out of an A pump, so it's pretty hard to go much bigger than 4.5, 4.6 inch on the intake side.
Right. No point in having all the air in the world if you don't have any fuel to burn alongside with it. So, that A pump is a limiting factor there. But you're saying when they hit, the super farms have a hard time keeping up with them when everything is right?
Well, yeah, if the track length's over 300, we'll call it 320 feet, you go 325, 330, 320.
Yeah, the mod turbos really get a leg under them with their RPMs then. But certain tracks, it doesn't help them either. I mean, They
True.
really need to be on a good tight track to put that power down at 8,500. So they have different winners. I mean, they have a handful of tractors that any given night can win. Plays track hook position and so on and so forth. But
Yeah. Well, combined classes are always really neat. I want to go back to something you guys were talking about. If Jason Schultz could get a tattoo, I think it would say butts in seats. And you guys talked about how like that was the biggest thing that you've really learned to emphasize from year 1 to year 3. How have you seen the crowds grow, and what have you done to kind of like get out and about and just walk us through, how you go about doing that? There's nothing more challenging than being a promoter out there. So how are you watching your pull grow each year, and how do you anticipate it to grow this year?
So the first season, we hooked NYTPA around noontime, 10 o'clock start with, we ran like one class of trucks ahead of them. And we really had a big number of, for a first year event. Gramps, Jason's friend, he met in 2016. He's one of those seat counters. Counts the rows, counts the people across it. We figured we had 2/3 of our stands on the general admission side packed. And the following year, we changed our event menu up some and ran NYTPA later in the day. We had more of a throughout the day. People leave, people come in, steady crowd, but we never had that big burst of people like we had the first year. And we're hoping we can draw that big burst of people in for NYTPA in the early evening this year. Right. That's my goal, to see, to get them people back, at a big, if we can fill those stands 2/3, that's huge. We got a pretty big bleachers.
And kind of bridge that gap between the shows as well. Does the start time affect that? You said you guys are doing like a 5 p.m. start time?
Yeah, this is the second year we did a 5 p.m. Like last year, people, I don't think they realized the NYTPA was going to be at 5, so they showed up early. But I think half of that crowd realized it was going to be at 5, so we still had a good crowd at 5. But Jason's been there on our fair week, our fair day for tractor pulls, and it's standing room only, and not even that.
It's crazy.
If we can, like I said, if we can get 2/3 of that crowd, that's a home run.
It's New York's a lot different. I've been pulling in Pennsylvania a lot this summer, and the difference in New York is people don't come out just for a tractor pull. It's usually associated with a fair or something. Where New York, it's a little bit harder to drum up the people that you'd see at a pull just for a pulling event.
Yeah, most of New York's events are associated with a fair, county fair.
Sure.
There's only a handful of events that are standalone. So, and us being one of them.
Rich, when does your season kind of take off up in New York? Is it starting now? It's like July and August?
Sunday is the 1st.
Okay.
Sunday. We are the kickoff to their season. We cram a lot of pulling in about 2.5 months. July and August, and when we hit Labor Day, there's only a couple events left, so they cram them in. I mean, I could remember pulling for 6 days in a row before, points. It's when we used to run points.
Like the last pull is Addison County benefit pull.
Second weekend, I think, in September.
Weekend. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm just flipping through some pictures on your guys' Facebook page. So
yeah,
behind our banner there.
So let's go over that. We got a 5 p.m. start time for the NYTPA sanctioned stuff. We've talked about classes. What's the gate fee going to look like? And this is a standalone pull, but if we're walking around, is it open pits? Is there going to be delicious food? Give us the rundown of the grounds.
So the fair handles all the food vendors. I try to push them to get an extra 1 or 2. I'm talking with the fair manager today actually, and she's like, well, a lot of these guys, they tell me that they aren't busy. I get it. They want to be swamped, so they're making money. They don't want anybody else getting it. But so yeah, they handle, I think there's 5 vendors, possibly 6 this year. The general admission, I believe $15. It's on, I think it's on that.
20. Is it 20?
It's 25 for a pit pass. And I think it's
5 and under free,
Yeah.
6 to 11 $5, 12 and up $15. Pit pass is available. Children under 16.
And I can't express as much gratitude to the team we have because
Should mention them.
there's plenty of, no, I'm not going to mention because I'm going to miss some people, but it's not done by a handful of people. There's an army of us, and it's
Start with meetings in
gate.
January.
Yeah, we start. I got a girl that's my treasurer. She pushes. She dots her I's, crosses her T's, and she makes sure everything's lined up, and which is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. That's definitely what I need in my life. But it's one of those.
We're a non-for-profit.
Yeah, we're non-for-profit. They set that all up for us. Her and my secretary and treasurer handled all that. But even beyond them, there's, pit gate people, general admission people, sign-up people, track crew, other gate attendants. It's endless. Tow tractors. We have guys that come in and donate time with their own tractors. So it's definitely a lot.
They usually Make-A-Wish it wasn't Make-A-Wish that was there. That usually awards.
So our first year we did have a Make-A-Wish recipient. I don't handle it, but I'm pretty sure they're talking about having somebody there this year, and they're also going to have someone there or some more than one person, some people there from Ronald McDonald just sharing their stories and making sure everybody knows that it's going to these events and they know who we are.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, Mike, let's wrap this up with these guys, but go ahead and recap it one more time. Let's make sure we tell all the who, what, when, where, whys for Rich and Chris.
So July 14th, Sunday, starts at 10 with some local kids garden tractor pulling. And then there's some local truck pulling as well. There's a handful of hop farm classes. And then, like I said, there'll be a short intermission for us to rework the track. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this 1206 that sits behind us is pretty internet famous.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
This guy beside me, I'm going to give him a boost. That emblem on the nose of that tractor, he built that tractor to scale from that IH emblem. Never seen a tractor built like that. When he was putting the seat in there, I was like, how are you doing that? You don't even have your brake pedals or nothing mounted. And he assured me, I did this to scale and it's going to work. And it's that tractor is pretty impressive. We tell him pretty don't perform, but he's very, very prideful in his pretty part.
Yeah, it's like 80 hooks and no wind stuff.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. No, I just want Rich, I'm glad that Chuck put us together to do this for you guys this year, and excited that we've been posting on Beer Money Polling Team every day, and we hope that you can have a bigger crowd than you've ever had. How's the weather looking for this weekend? I know that's always the magic thing. What's the forecast looking like so far?
Well, our forecast, from what I've been following, I'm hoping Friday, this hurricane is pushed through. I was at the fair Saturday and Sunday.
There's the precipitation for Sunday, but Saturday don't look too bad either.
Yeah.
So we might be all right.
I was there this weekend at the fair. I started in with Saturday. We had one heck of a puddle on the track, and we got my friend in there with the town with the grader. I don't know if you guys can see that. That was.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah, that was. And then Saturday we had it back to normal. So hopefully we got it graded correctly, so there's not too big of puddles out there. If we do get some rain, but the thing of it is a good clay track. It's sealed, and I know there's dry dirt underneath it. So
awesome. Well, Rich, Chris, thanks for coming on tonight. Good luck this weekend, and we'll follow up with you next week. Okay.
Okay, right. Jason, I just do want to thank, like you said, Chuck for hooking us up, and greatly appreciated.
Yep, my Back in Black Alice Chalmers fan from the good old days. He still gives me crap that I went to a red tractor, but I told him I was sick of trying to find parts for an Alice.
So hopefully we see you at Bowling Green. We'll have hopefully we'll take it this year.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Take care.
See ya.
All right. So New York, Mike, that's our first promoter you talked to from New York this year. So.
Yep. NYTPA starting their season on a Sunday. New York must have a thing for Sunday shows. What was the big NTPA pull out there for a long time? That they always had a Saturday at like 4 and Sunday at noon or something like that. It's out there by where like Joe Ader's from. But
somebody will know. They'll let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
so
but Sunday pulls.
We're going to go to Wilmington, Ohio next. We got Dirty Dave waiting in the background for us.
He's been waiting patiently.
Yeah, well, like I said, I had a golf outing today at the University of Dubuque. My father-in-law played basketball there in the 70s, and we timed it to kind of hit the Ozarks on the way home and play golf at noon, and then go out for supper for my father-in-law's birthday, and then run home real quick. And I got home at 7:50, and I thought Langford, New York.
Yep, perfect. Yep.
So that was the one. So I'm gonna go live here on the NTPA page as well. Give me 1 second, and then we're gonna bring Dave on, and we're gonna talk about Wilmington, Ohio.
You betcha.
Thanks for joining us tonight. This is Let's Grow Pulling, July 8th, everybody. Bringing on Dave. Dave, I got him hiding behind the poster.
Hey!
I think that's pretty good. So, welcome, Dave.
Well, thank you.
How does one get the name Dirty Dave? That's
I don't know. You must have come up with that, or I got two other guys sitting in here. They got a face for radio, not for TV. So
I saw you.
Did you not type that in yourself?
Yeah.
No, I did not do that. So I'm thinking we got the president of the fair board and the vice president. They think they're pretty big things. So pretty
I think
there's a message behind it.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, you know what I got to put up with.
Yeah, I saw you looking, Dave, over to the left. I knew you had a peanut gallery over there. No, I messaged Hope this morning, our general manager. I'm like, hey, Hope, who do we have on the show tonight? You know, she gave me the list of the promoters, and I said, get a hold of everybody. He said, yeah, Wilmington, Ohio knows they're going to put somebody up to it. So Dave got it. Dave got it. So
I got stuck with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, welcome everybody to Let's Grow Pulling. We're in our segment 2 now. We talked to Rick and Chris up there from Greenwich, New York. They got a big event coming up this Sunday. Now we're talking about Wilmington, Ohio, July 13th, 7 p.m. This must be a Region 2 hook, Dave. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it'll be Region 2 East Hook.
Okay.
4 classes. Actually, we got 3 nights of pulling in Clinton County Fair.
Thursday
night, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday night, where it's mostly diesel trucks, we're going work stock, street stock. They got a hotter gas class they're running. And then we're having the limited light supers 2 nights, Thursday and Friday. And
very popular class. Very popular class.
Yep. Clinton County Ag Society and Roger Miller Tire Cutting is putting up a $1,000 King of the Hill. So whoever does the best of the 2 nights will get the King of the Hill on top of that. And then Saturday morning at I think it's 11:30, we're going to have the kiddie tractor pull. Then we'll kick off with the NTPA pull at 7.
Gotcha. Is there a Facebook page or a website or anything, Dave, I can bring up and share on the screen while we're chatting?
Yeah. Hey, see, they even got me ready. It's
Oh, Dick, I'm going to call them. Mike? We need to come up with good names like Dick and Betty or something off to the side.
Dick and Betty.
That fits them pretty good. Yeah, our website is ClintonCountyFairgrounds.com.
Okay.
So
you guys are running, it looks like your classes, you're going to have modifieds, light pros. I was just talking about light pros with our last guest. Yeah. 2-wheel drive trucks and hot farms. And this is Region 2 East. Now, yes, I like talking about NTPA regional national pulling, especially that Region 2. Region 2 is kind of the big dog region. When you've got so many competitors that you have to split a region into 2 regions, there's a lot of good iron that pulls NTPA Region 2. What's East and what's West? Kind of explain that to some people that might not know.
They kind of split the center of the state. Anything pretty much from Columbus east is going to be the east. I mean, Wilmington is more far west, but Urbana, Ohio will be west pole. There's 22 hooks on Region 2. That's a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
The East Pole had one clear out in Pennsylvania. That was their first hook last month. And, they had Wauseon, Paulding. There was just a bunch of traveling, so they split it up. Some guys like it, some don't. For guys who run for points, they really like that. They can choose which side they want to run. Guys like me, we just pull where we can go.
Is Region 2 pretty much primarily Ohio and maybe like some edging states, Pennsylvania, Indiana?
Yeah.
Is that where we're talking about right here?
Yeah, there's a couple west pools over in Indiana. They used to run up in Michigan quite a bit, but not so much anymore. At least for the Region 2 light pros, they have the other classes that they'll run up in Michigan. That's part of Region 2.
Sure. So we've got 4 classes there. What's your total number of hooks that you usually anticipate for this specific pull once you put all 4 of those classes together?
We'd like to try to have at least 50 hooks.
Okay.
That's what we're shooting for. I mean, COVID year, we was one of the fortunate fairs that got to have a pull before they shut everything down. And I think there was like 27 light pros there, and it was, we run 2 tracks, and I mean, it was, all the classes was big.
COVID was simultaneously every pull's worst nightmare and best friend, because the pulls that did happen drew every bit of iron that was within God knows how far, because everyone wanted to go pulling. So 27 in a single class in 2020 does not surprise me one bit, but 4 classes and 50 hooks, legitimately, that's almost a perfect show. That's like a dream number show. You're looking at 12 to 13 vehicles per class right there. That's a fan's dream right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. What, Clinton County, we're pretty cheap to get in here. It's $10 to get into the gate. That gets you the rides into the infield. I mean, grandstands, everything, all access for $10.
You must have gigantic crowds then, Dave. You have to at that price.
We have pretty decent crowds, yes. I mean, we got good support around here. It's a pretty good show, really. We got Jim Miller and Biggin coming in to build a track for Saturday night. So you can guarantee it's always going to be a good one with them two building.
Yep, Jimmy don't mess around. So we bumped into him a lot this year in Farley, and where else we see him? Farley and Benson. No, just Farley. No, I think he was out in Benson. I'm trying to remember where I've seen him. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was up in Marion, Ohio last Monday, and them two built a track, and it was a good one. It was a real good one.
Dave, for like local pullers, who are some local pullers that this is kind of their hometown pull?
We got Roger Early. This is my local pull.
Yep.
Palmer's there 2 counties away. Stroud's, Brian Jordy Stroud. There's sellers. Mark Weederhold, but he's broke. He hasn't got his back together. At one time in Clinton County, there was 9 light pro stocks pulling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One of them sold here not too long ago. We got a couple guys that's rebuilding, so they're not going to be out yet, but hopefully they'll be out next year or two. We're hoping for a good turnout. But Clinton County is pretty strong in tractor pulling, from grassroots pulling, brush pulling, clear up to Grand National. Superstock, Keith Middleton used to be here. I mean, we got three guys with 5.0 pro stocks in the county, and so it's a pretty strong county for pulling.
Yeah, when I think of light pros, I think of Ohio. I mean, without a doubt, Ohio, Indiana, we're really got super popular with the light pro stocks. So.
Yeah, it was. It's Region 2 kind of kicked that class off really when NTPA brought it, and I used to pull heavy pro. A lot of guys switched to it, and we never dreamed we'd be at the horsepower we are now, but here we are.
Yep. So your fair started 2 days ago, or is it?
Yeah, it started the 6th. Yeah.
Is there grant? So you have 3 nights of pulling, you said?
Yes, sir.
That's my kind of fair, Mike. That's my kind of fair.
That sounds like a fair in Ohio. When you said, oh, when you think light pros, you think of Ohio. When I think of tractor pulling, I think of Ohio. You can throw a rock in Ohio and it's going to ricochet off at least 2 pulling vehicles. Like that's just the state bleeds pulling.
Yeah, we're changing some things up in the classes this year. Like I said, we're going more trucks, but on Friday night, we're doing the single engine mods, the 6,500 mod class, the light limited supers again, and we're trying a new class. A lot of guys around here are pulling it. It's called 8,500 Ultra Farm Stock.
Yeah,
we're around 15 mile an hour. I think it's 12 or 15 mile an hour. We're trying that class, and so supposedly a lot of guys said they're coming.
Dave, on your website, does it show like each day what the classes are? I'm trying to look for that right now.
Yes, it is.
If you could help me out, I'm struggling a little bit, buddy.
You don't want me to mess with the computer. I'd have somebody help me get this up.
I'm at ClintonCountyFair.com. Or I'm at ClintonCountyFairgrounds.com, and then there's an About Us section. Clinton County Fair, maybe initial attractions. What is that? Peanut Gallery next to you? Do they have any help at all?
Yeah, Peanut Gallery. You got any help?
Oh, here we go. I found it. So Demo Derby was Saturday night. KOI races. What's that stand for?
Dirt drags.
Oh, look at that, Mike.
CRA.
That's something you would do. Like your little scooter, Mike, you cruise around on the pits.
Dude, I could win some money with that.
Got some buggy whipping going on tonight.
There was a guy out there on a Harley Sportster dirt dragging last night.
Oh, do you have a video of that, Dave?
Yeah, somewhere there. I mean, what was really fun is the kids on the little mini 50s, drag racing. But yeah, I mean, anything. There was a BMW, an older BMW guy in the 2-wheel drive class. He was racing it. I mean, just anything that would run, you could bring them guys was dragging them.
I love it.
I had motorcycles, 4x4s, Can-Ams and stuff on alcohol, twin turbo. I mean, it was plus the trucks, so it's pretty crazy.
Well, that makes it fun though. Now it's like, is your track like, so it's a demo derby, then you have to turn into the pulling track. Do you have to work all that around, or how does that work for you guys?
No, we have the demo derby behind the pulling track. It's a separate area. So there's no car parts on the track.
Yeah, as a puller with tires, I always like to hear that.
Yes.
Oh, shoot. That is good stuff. Any sponsors or anybody that really helps make this happen, Dave?
Yeah, we got Napa, R&L Carriers, Clinton County Ag Society. We got a lot of sponsors for Fair. Bosom Ford, they sponsor the grandstand. It's just we're very fortunate to have the sponsorship that we've been getting lately from the local businesses. Here in Clinton County, they really stepped behind the fair and the 4-H kids here at the fair and try to make it a good fair for everybody.
Awesome. So before we let you go, Dave, let's flip. So Thursday night, July 11th, the website says truck pulls. Can you kind of go through the classes again for us?
We'll have work stock diesel trucks, street diesel trucks. Then they're going to have a hot gas truck, a street diesel gas truck, and then we'll have the limited light supers.
Nice.
The Sullivan's pulling group is putting the truck classes on, and they run the same rules as Battle of the Bluegrass do.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
that's a hotbed for light limited supers down there in that Battle of Bluegrass too.
Oh,
so
yes.
if you're using similar to them, you're running hot stuff.
Yeah. We got 2 or 3 light limited supers now in Clinton County, but and then Friday night we're running single engine mods.
Okay.
On
6,500 mod class, the light limited supers again, and then the 8,500 altered stock class.
Okay.
Mile per hour class. And then, like I said, Saturday night's the NTPA with hot farms, mods, 2-wheel drives, and light pros.
Awesome.
Yep.
7 p.m.
Yep.
So it's $10. So fans, it's $10 to get on the grounds. Is that the deal, Dave? Is that what you?
That $10 to get on the grounds, get you in the grandstands, get you on all the rides, in the infield, everything.
That is a great deal.
Yeah, that's how you put butts in seats, Jason Schultz. You make it $10. And you had I saw $30 for like a whole pay $30 and you're there all week, right?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
on there. That's like a season pass on their
Season
website.
pass, $30. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, we got several rides here. We got one of the premier ride companies, Triple Treats here. They got several rides here and a lot of food vendors. I've been trying to hit every one of them.
It's important, Dave, that we put on a lot of weight in the summer. So.
Yeah.
Fair food is good for you.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I'd like to invite everybody to come out and support the protractor pulls because we'd like to build this bigger. I mean, we used to have a Grand National pull here several years ago, run 2 tracks. We're capable of running that again. We'd like to try to build this fair pull up to where we could run 6 classes and 2 tracks.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Dave, thanks for coming on tonight. I hope Mother Nature is your friend all week long. I know how stressful that is to mess with that too.
That's looking pretty good. The rain's supposed to be out of here. The hurricane storm supposed to be out here by Wednesday morning, so that gives us plenty of time to get the track ready. It's sealed over now, so it should be good shape.
Awesome. Dave, thank you. Have a great night.
Guys.
And then those people that were picking on you that said you're going to vote for Biden, I would put them in a headlock after the show, okay?
Well, yeah. Anything they can do to aggravate me, they do.
They must be good friends then. I like
Yes.
that. I like that. All right. Have a good night, Dave.
Hey, thank you.
Take care.
All right. Good deal. So talking to Dave there from Wilmington, Ohio, some Region 2 pulling. Mike, it's really getting into, and we're going to switch to Fisher, Illinois next. I got Jacob Kessler and his kids in the background. They have some light super stocks. We've seen that pull at Louisville before. We'll get into that. His sister's like a nuclear physicist, engineer, something like that too, Mike, if I remember that. I remember we were going to name one of their tractors in the past. So, but again, fans, if you're in the Wilmington, Ohio area, they have pull in Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. Okay, so life is good, right? But they're big. The Shield, the NTPA Shield, that Saturday night at 7 p.m. But $10 to get in the fair, that's pretty cool, Mike. I mean, the fair's supposed to be affordable. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, for your fans to come in and stuff like that. But some places have amazing sponsorship and they can do things like this. And some people have to, scrape for every dollar they can get to. With a lot of people, fans, what you don't realize is that like a Grand National or a big show can cost 60, 70 grand a night, for a promoter to put on, or a big Champions Tour event, or a big Outlaw Hook. And they go out and they're counting on butts in the seats, like Mike said, and or they're counting on sponsorship to help pull this off. Because at the end of the day, you want your fair pull to be the best. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yep. And what I've seen is you really almost need both in the world that we live in. You gotta make the fans happy, you gotta make the sponsors happy, but it takes a village. And so walk that fine line, get the butts in the seats. But no, we're definitely getting into the hotbed of pull season. Like we're the week we've got lined up, and you can see how many people we're talking to tonight. Like we're about to put our feet on the ground and forget what our homes look like for a while, because it's big time pull season, buddy.
Yep. So we're switching gears right now. We're heading over to Jacob Kessler. Jacob, how are you tonight, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Who are your guests with you tonight, Jacob? So
I got Jackson here in the yellow and Lane here in the black.
Jackson, Jackson, do you like tractor pulling?
I'm on my headset, so they can't hear you. But
just tell them to shake their head, okay? So
they said yes.
They said yes.
That is the best way. That is a new parenting hack. I am now officially using that. Just put the headphones on. It's a one-way communication. Everybody wins. You're a genius, my friend.
Yeah, we're filtering a little bit here. When they found out I was going to be on YouTube, they were pretty excited. So,
well, tell them they should be commenting on it right now. I like that. So it's all good. That's all good. Jacob, first of all, let's talk about weather. I talked to Brad Holzhauer this weekend. I know he's really concerned about Nashville tomorrow night with that hurricane, and they're supposed to get some rain tomorrow night. Have you guys been dry? Have you guys been wet? What's it been like in Fisher this year?
Yeah, we had a really wet spring, but it's been dry ever since probably the first week or two in June. We've probably only had, depending on where you're at, a few tenths here or there. So we're needing a rain farming wise, but they're calling for some big rains. We probably don't need all that at once, but yeah, we're we're looking good for Thursday, Wednesday, depending on how much it rains. Could be touch and go, but we're going to have track equipment and everything there. If it's possible to make it happen, we're going to. So,
Is it ITPA both nights, Jacob?
yeah, we're ITPA both nights this year, and kind of switched the classes up pretty good from what we've had in the past a little bit. Some similar, but we got 3 or 4 new classes, or at least classes on a new night, trying to shake things up a little bit and get a better mix of diesel and alcohol and trucks and tractors and all that good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I like to hear that. Have you had your tractors out yet this year?
Yeah, we've had 2 ITPA pulls so far. We started out June 6th, I think it was, in Pleasant Hill, and then last week we were in Newton, Illinois. So both of them ran pretty decent. So we're still tuning things in, but we're feeling good about the year so far. So.
You just joined us, fans. We got Jacob Kessler on from the Fisher Community Fair, also driver of, it's the night shift, light super, right? That's what you call it?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. You got ITPA Wednesday at 6:30. So one classic tractors. Tell me what that class means, Jacob.
So I think it's 1939 to 1952. We have an antique class and a classic class in ITPA, and my dad started out in the antique class, and that's 1938, I believe it is, and newer. So it's like styled and unstyled for those of you who are antique guys, whether you got the radiator front grill or you've got a, they call it styled hood. So these are the newer tractors. It's a fairly, I think they're, for antiques, they're fairly close to, they're not obviously not stock, but you're not allowed to do like aluminum wheels and some of the fancier ignition systems and stuff like some of the national antiques and classics, but I'm not as up on the rules as I used to be in those classes.
So this is on the ITPA Facebook page for Wednesday. So I have a feeling this is what we're talking about.
That's exactly right. Yep. Those are sponsored by LG Seeds. They sponsor the classic class every year there. So we're glad to have them on board, and it's good to get a good mix of vehicles. So
now, do you have some local pullers that run this class?
Yeah, there's a guy kind of out of several guys out of the Arthur area, which is within an hour of us there, and then I think that's probably some of the closest we have in that class.
And then light modifieds, is that your guys'? Is that a single engine class at ITPA? I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's Allison's single V8 and blown Hemis, and then also the turbines. So that's always a fun class, and they it's a very competitive class in our state, and it has been for years. Usually brings pretty good numbers. So that's kind of a mainstay that we've had for quite a while. So
that's the class that's got the other Bollinger mod in it. There's the Top Gun that kind of broke the internet when they put the superchargers on it, and everyone knows about it. But they've got a single engine Allison power plant, I believe. I don't remember what it's called, but I would imagine that's probably where it hooks. Am I in the ballpark with that?
Yeah, and then they've got there's several tractors that they work on. That the clerks have a tractor that they're kind of work on them together and stuff, and then the Lynch Mob tractor is another tractor besides the Bollinger tractor that all run those Allison power plants, and they're all really sharp looking tractors and really competitive in that class. So
yeah. It's fun. I like classes.
Go ahead, Mike. Sorry,
I was going to say, I really like classes, and we've got some in the Outlaw where it's a safe place for the old Allison power plants to go and still be competitive, because I think that's an aspect of tractor pulling that the new generation needs to experience. Back in the 70s and 80s, the Allisons were so powerful and so prominent, but there's getting to be less and less of them in the big classes. So anytime you can bring your kids out and they can experience what an Allison sounds like, that's a fun place and a fun class to have.
It's
It
one of the
really
coolest,
is.
one of the coolest sounds in the world. And Allison,
Absolutely,
they sound neat.
absolutely.
Well, the history behind it and everything's cool. I mean, it's something that growing up in Illinois, there was a bunch of, you know, prominent Allison Pullers, the Bollingers, and all those guys that ran. So I mean, that keeping the history going is important. And those guys, they all do such a good job of keeping their equipment looking nice and everything. So it really adds something to it. So
Yeah. So Lynch Mob, Lane Bollinger, Drew DeClerc, Jaron Blumberg. That's a politician. That's a turbine tractor. I know that. John Young, Neil Roberts, Glenn McCum. I'm just rolling through the ITPA Facebook page. Those are some of the names.
yeah, those last couple are Hemis there, and the Furkings have a couple Hemis that they've been running, and they've been doing real well this year. So you know, it's a fun class, and we're always glad to have them there.
Nice.
Gonna be almost identical to like the light limited modifieds that we see in the Outlaws. Going to be very comparable, I'd imagine.
I think it's the exact same rules. I think there's actually Kurt and Ron have talked about some going back and forth on some of that. So
yeah, for sure.
Yep. 6850 Pro Farm on Wednesday night. Jacob, tell us about that class a little bit.
Yeah, so that's a small cubic inch, small charger diesel class. It was new a couple years ago. You know, it's one of those that was intended to be an entry level class, and you know, they've kind of taken it and run with it. There's a bunch of really sharp looking tractors, and they really run hard. They get a lot of track speed up, and they're all good looking tractors. But it's neat because there's a lot of different colors. We got some John Deere's, Oliver's, Minneapolis Molines, you know, internationals and everything. So it's a cool class, and it's a fun one to watch. So
Heavy Super, is that diesel and alky both? You mix them up, Jacob?
yeah, it's a combo class. So we've got you know, the Hellbent tractor, you know, is one of the diesels that runs here in Illinois, and then Novingers and Whitworth and Mises and Ray Gumersheimer's, you know, some of the alcohols that run with us commonly. So that class is kind of making a resurgence a little bit here in the state. Hoping to get most of those guys there, and that's a new class this year for us. So we're pretty excited for that one as well. We're big super stock people. So, you know, that's a fun one.
Well, yeah, you are.
You mentioned the name Mies. That
Jacob, can you hear Mike?
I lost you there for a second.
Yeah. Mike, I don't hear you at all, buddy. We lost you. Mike, say something. He said Mies, and then I know do they still have the squealer tractor, Jacob?
Yeah, they do. And they were out at Newton getting things dialed in and everything. So they're planning on being there, and we actually bought our first super stock from those guys. So it's always exciting when the squealer runs. That's one that always turns heads, and they come to win when they come. So
now, do you guys weight up your light supers to jump in the heavy super, or is that no?
We used to, but we have 2-bar cages and stuff now. So we aren't, you know, with SFI, we're not allowed to go up, and we just wouldn't probably be as competitive anymore as what they used to be. And gearing too, we used to have, you know, 3 gears and stuff to be able to run with those guys, and we were kind of dialed in for what we're doing at the light class now. So things have changed so much there. So
yep. If you're just joining us, Let's Grow Pulling Monday, July 8th, live with Jacob Kessler from the Fisher Community Fair this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. and then Thursday night, 7 p.m. We got a few minutes left with him, and then we're going to switch over to Rock Valley, Iowa. But we kind of going through the Wednesday night classes. Then your 11,000 Pro Farm, that's a pretty big class at ITPA, right?
Yeah, those tractors are pretty cool. Big cubic inch, you know, and it's another one. Yeah, it's kind of I don't know if it's unique but to ITPA, but it's definitely a unique sound, and it's not something you see too common. And we've had pretty good numbers in that class, and we got red and green there. And it's a really competitive class with some pretty sharp looking tractors, and it's got a bunch of ground speed in it too. So it's new for this year. So we're really excited to see how that one, pans out and bring something just a little bit different to the show, on Wednesday night. So
absolutely. I was first introduced to those, Jacob, in Badger State. Obviously I live in Wisconsin, and then going to Gordyville over the years. I heard those big cube tractors from the ITPA. I was like, holy cow. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I mean, they're making huge horsepower obviously in those things. And so it's really neat.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's move to Thursday night then. So again, 6:30 on Wednesday night, and then Big Ditch Irrigation. That's your company, right? That's what you guys own?
Yeah. Yep. That's our, we sell and service T&L irrigation systems. So we partner together with TL and have sponsored, Thursday night. And then Murray Seed is a full service Pioneer dealer here locally, and they also sponsor the Thursday night show. And then we have Ealer Brothers and Bayer Crop Sciences are our big sponsors for Wednesday night. And yeah, so those are kind of some of the bigger sponsors we have for the polls that kind of make things go around and everything, and we really appreciate them. So
I see for Thursday night then, $2,500 to win, $1,000 for second for light supers, two-wheel drive trucks, and 8,500 limited pros. That's pretty smart there to pull some of the two-wheel drive trucks out of the woodwork that you guys have in Illinois. Some of the best in the country. So
a lot of good running two-wheel drives right there in the heart of Illinois. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and those guys, they really support the ITPA well, and support the local organizations well. So we're hoping that that Nelson and Corzines and Austins and all that crew will come out, and they always put on a good show, and they've always got the best looking equipment around. And so that's something we try to get as many local classes, or classes with local pullers as we can within the county and neighboring counties. And so that was a big draw for the two-wheel drive trucks, and we're trying to boost our numbers a little bit by putting that carrot out there with the bigger purse. So
no, that helps a lot. So your 10.5 farm stock, I'm not familiar with that class. What's the basics of that, Jacob, on Thursday night with ITPA?
Yeah, it's like an older farm stock class. I believe it's 466 and a smaller charger and stuff. And it's more of an entry level class that the ITPA just added this year. There's some other organizations that have had the class, so we have a lot of local tractors that run that class, and it gives you the real like farm stock look with the roll bar instead of the roll cage and stuff, and all that. So it's something that we're excited to have. There's a lot of tractors in our county that run that class, and it's new with ITPA. So we're looking forward to having them and being a part of it.
I really like how you've mixed these classes up, Mike. I think you have to agree with me. Whether you like trucks or tractors, you're going to have a good time either night.
This is a great blend. And what this would do if I was a fan, I was thinking about this as well, this would almost guarantee me to attend both nights, where we see a lot of 2-night shows where drivers get to hook twice, which is a driver's dream. You've created a shuffled deck here that's going to keep fans coming back to both nights. Yeah, this was well put together. And then to hit it with the big check, Thursday seems to be your big check show. You're going to stick around and see which two-wheel drives and which 85 limited pros and other ones show up for that. That's smart.
And we're $10 both nights to attend. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty fair price for what we're going to provide there both nights. And that gets you into the whole fair, and everything, not rides included, but it's your way in the gate and into the grandstand. We don't have it separate, and you can bring your your own cooler and everything in. So, I mean, it's a family friendly environment, and also it pretty reasonably priced. So
Absolutely.
I've always said pools that allow, and whether you're bringing, regardless of what's in the cooler, pools that allow fans to bring their own cooler in bring bigger crowds. Like it legitimately does, because you can just bring your own refreshments. I always think that's such a clever thing to market when you're having a truck or tractor pool.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got a big family, so it makes a big difference when you can bring all your stuff with you and not have to buy every single item. You know, I mean, obviously we encourage people to buy food and different things there at the event, but you know, your water and that type of stuff, you know, you might as well bring that with you. So
Good stuff. Got a few minutes left here, and I want to wrap up, Jacob. Light Supers, 85 Limited Pros. You're going to have a ton of 85s there. You have to. That has to be the most popular class for pullers in the state of Illinois, I feel like, with ITPA.
and we got several.
several local guys in that class too, and we're hoping to draw some of the guys from Washington County down there. They're also hooking Penfield on Friday night with ITPA at the I&I show. So that's just, you know, a half hour down the road. So we're trying to get them in here Thursday and keep them Friday, and that way they, you know, can make one trip for the money. And so we're excited for them. And last year we were on Wednesday night, and so that's kind of a tough trip for those guys from Southern Illinois to hit Washington County and come on up. So we're hoping the extra day gives them a chance to work on their stuff or do whatever, and then make it up. So
Good deal. And then we talked about two-wheelers a little bit, and then obviously your class of Light Supers. Have you won your hometown pull before, Jacob? You or your dad?
yeah, I had a pretty good streak going until a year or two ago. I hadn't lost there, but yeah, we've won several times, but we have been kind of kicking our own selves the last couple of years. Dad won last year, ITPA, and then I think we got third with PPL. But we'll be trying to, that's for sure. So
Awesome. Well, before we let you go, Jacob, anybody else you want to thank here tonight?
yeah, I think we covered the main sponsors. We also have Farm Credit of Illinois has been a good sponsor for the polls, and then got a lot of local families, you know, that help us, and Martin Equipment's a John Deere construction equipment dealer, and they've done some in-kind donations this year with some big equipment that's really going to help the fair, and skid steers and end loaders and stuff. So we really appreciate them going out of their way to do that. And like I said, Ealer Brothers, Bayer Crop Sciences, Murray Seed, Big Ditch Irrigation, and T&L Irrigation. Those are the people that really make the pools go, and we're very thankful to have all of them on board, and we hope they continue to sponsor it. So
Hey, Mike, as an announcer, how do you like saying Big Ditch Irrigation?
Well, I've been flirting the line this week between being like witty and fun and like ultra professional, because I'm getting in my right mind for Rock Valley, and Rock Valley's been through some tough stuff. But I had a lot of fun jokes I was gonna make. I just felt that this wasn't the show to bring them on here. But
No, it's all
Big
good.
Ditch Irrigation.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
you know what
Well
they say
said.
about ditches. You know what they say about ditches in Illinois. You know, so
What do they say?
big old ditches. I guess
Big
I don't know.
ditches. Awesome.
They got some big ditches over there.
Awesome. Well, Jacob, we hope you fill up the grandstands the next couple of nights, and I hope you have a great poll, buddy.
yeah, we appreciate it. You guys do a great job of promoting events, and I hope you guys keep doing it. This is a great platform for people to be able to put their events on and get notoriety. And you know, tractor pulling is something that, you know, is around the state and the country, and we're a smaller, you know, community fair, so this is a good way to get the message out to fans and pullers all around the state and the Midwest, and we hope we can draw them in and have a good show. So
No, we appreciate you working with us, Jacob. So
Yep.
have a good night and get back to work. Okay,
Thank
bud?
you.
you guys too. Take care.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Big Ditch Irrigation.
And you came close. You almost had a Freudian slip right there. The big something.
Well, I got Dave Nelson, my mentor, coming on next. He's back there taking notes, texting Kurt. Yeah. Jason said this and Jason said this. So
no, I saw them in the green room. That's why I wasn't going to crack jokes. I was like, the executive.
Sometimes you need to laugh. Sometimes you need to laugh. We're good.
The ultimate professionals are watching us.
Well, Koima, I don't know if he's the ultimate professional, but Dave Nelson's the executive vice president of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. So let's switch gears. Rock Valley, Iowa. This Friday and Saturday, free admission, big donation buckets. I hope the donation buckets are not big enough. Full Pull Live is stepping up. Full Pull Live is that's the only place you can live stream this event. And then if you are a current Outlaw Pulling TV subscriber, we're going to send you a free passcode to get in there. Now, we get it that money doesn't grow on trees, but if you do have an extra $40 laying around, we would ask you, our current monthly subscribers, not to use that coupon code and pay the $40 to watch all 3 sessions of the live stream. Full Pull is donating all that money back to the Rock Valley Pullers, to the 501c3, and obviously there's going to be some more stuff coming in, maybe some Kurt said something about Outlaw Pulling TV matching some of it and giving back. But this Rock Valley, Iowa needs us now more than they've ever needed us. And for the last 21 years, I believe it's 21 years, Michael, Rock Valley has given to us one of the best pulls in the country. It's one of those destination pulls, Mike, you and I talk about all the time, where it's you don't need to say Rock Valley's in Iowa. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's 2 rocks in Iowa. There's Rockwell and Rock Valley, right?
And they used to be on the same weekend. At least they finally switched to where they weren't on the same weekend. But no, all you say is Rock Valley, and people know exactly what you're talking about. I was at the Pullers Championship this last year, and we turned on ESPN in the hotel room, and there was Rock Valley, the tractor pull, being replayed on ESPN. I mean, what more do you need to say?
It's pretty cool. So, Kurt Koima, Dave Nelson, welcome to Let's Grow Pulling. Kurt, I know you're tired. Dave, I know you're tired, but it's pull week. The weather forecast is beautiful for the weekend. It's time to be awesome, Kurt. How are you feeling in Rock Valley, buddy?
Oh, everything's going good.
Have you slept in the last month, Kurt Koima?
No.
No. Coffee sales are up. The Coltrane Energy sales are up. And Kurt Koima is up.
Tell us what you've been doing at the track, Kurt.
Tonight we took down sponsor signs and put them back up because the corn stalks and whatnot that flooded behind there. Everything was full. You can't imagine when it goes 4 feet underwater what it could put in places you never dreamt of. But yeah, other than that, it looks like nothing's wrong there anymore. So, I mean, it really didn't look like nothing was wrong after that Saturday when everybody came and did all the work.
I got some pictures that you guys have up on your face. This is the announcer stands right now. I think these are taken today, Kurt, possibly, or yesterday.
Water was 4 feet deep.
Yeah, the west side of the track, the water was like 2 feet. And what you're looking at the west side, that's the announcer stand. The east side of the track, it was 4 feet.
So I'm curious, with the way that this pull, we're anticipating record attendance, record participation. Have we started hearing some feelers coming out? Of course, all the Outlaw guys are going to be here. All the kind of ones that maybe only hit the big ones are going to be here. Are we starting to hear from a lot of drivers and just rumors and mumblings across all the pulling world that the puller turnout is going to be even larger than it's been in the past? Has anybody heard anything about that at all?
Yeah, there's some. It's all rumors. Kurt Van Beek is hearing. Brian Stramick, if he gets his parts, he's bringing a tractor up here. Corzine is trying to come. Them are the 2 names that I heard from, a couple Minnesota names. But I think Kurt is taking most of them calls.
Sure.
I know Burkholtz's are coming out of Wisconsin with their Light Pro, Kurt. Colin Burkholtz are 1456. So
I've seen them registered already.
Yeah, we've been encouraging everybody to get on the app and check all that out as well. It feels like, with Dave Bennett and his accident, Kurt, I kind of feel like it's just been bad luck for all of us in the outlaw country here. Dave was in that horrible accident and lost his wife over the weekend. And and I think he had some surgery today, Dave. And what have you heard about Dave and where he's at with his health? Dave Nelson?
Yeah, he went into surgery about 1:30. They took him down about 11:30, 12 o'clock, went into surgery about 1:30, and he had a whole bunch of screws and plates put in part of his legs, part of his hips, redid his nose. His nose was broken up pretty bad. Brought him out of this surgery, came out okay, came out good. And they're actually going to do a whole hip replacement on Thursday, I think. Okay. But there's multiple surgeries lined up here that Dave's got to go through just to get everything fixed to put him back the way he was. He's pretty beat up, but he's in good spirits. He came through surgery well, and so it's just kind of day by day and helping him along in his journey.
Obviously, and we'll be giving him a shout out on the live stream.
Yeah.
Dave was going to be one of our announcers in the booth with Ron. Mike's going to step into the booth. I think Fred Petch is going to be doing the winner interviews. I haven't confirmed that for sure, but I think that was what I heard earlier today. So, but it's been a wild couple weeks, Kurt Koima, for everybody, and just I'm glad you guys are doing this. What's the pulse on the town right now, Kurt? I mean, is everybody feeling pretty good, or is it still just adrenaline, or what's the feeling in Rock Valley, Iowa right now?
Oh, I'd say it's a lot of mixed feelings, I would say. Obviously, there's some people that have lost everything, so I think adrenaline is running out. Waiting for answers. FEMA's in town, and obviously the government, nothing is very fast. There's just a lot of unanswered questions on what people need to do.
Yep, I was going to ask you what was going on with all that stuff. So this is the other side of the track.
Yes. Yeah, you're looking at the east side there.
Okay. And then this is a picture of where we at here, Kurt.
That fence got washed out.
This pool takes on so many tones to me, and as I sit here just thinking about being in the Outlaw family, it's one of those where we've kind of hit the financial aspect of it a lot. You know, we want all the drivers, all the fans, all the live stream. We want everyone to come out, donate if they can, to be supportive. But it also is really starting to feel to me like one of those where you just almost know everybody's going to be on their A game, just because you want to give 2.5 nights of just kind of an emotional reprieve back to this community. You know, Kurt, I could almost hear it just in your tone that now that the adrenaline's going away, people are starting to wonder, you know, what's next, and things are going to be kind of challenging. So this is one of those where it feels like everybody's going to make this the best thing possible, both to help them lucratively, but to help them emotionally too. So it's going to be a really unique pull. It's something that, you just hope that everything pans out as good as it possibly can, which I have no doubt that it will.
Yeah, it looks like the weather's going to go off without a hitch. No worry about rain. Maybe a little hotter than we thought, but I mean, I think it's like 89 or 90 is the hottest temperature. But as far as everything else, the camping's going to be available.
That was one of the questions, Kurt. What is the camping situation?
It's going to be on the south side. The campground, if you stayed at the Rock Valley, the city's campground out by their ponds, that's destroyed. The one with the full hookups. But we always have them campers on the south side of Highway 18. That's going to be all available. And I think we're going to have some campers that can go in with the haulers on the south side of the road. That if some haulers or some pullers want to bring them. We got 10 acres on the south side from the track, or north side, I should say, that could be available. But I think we're going to have to start parking cars in town. If the turnout we're expecting, we're going to have them come walking through the bridge to the west. The gate, that big fence on the west side, is not going to be set up this year. So especially with the free will. But yeah, we got to monitor we're not going to allow the outside coolers in yet because we got the beer garden with the fire department, and that liquor license is only good for them certain grounds. So, it's going to be. Yeah, we don't exactly know what to expect. I mean, we're putting a big screen on the west side of the bleachers so people can stand out there and watch the pull, if there is standing room only. So we will make sure that the pull is visible, whether it's on a screen or they can get close enough to see it.
This is a
track.
really
When did you
cool
open
comment.
up? Oh, sorry. Kurt Van Beek just commented. Go ahead, Michael.
I just think this is a really, really neat comment. You know, Kurt, the owner and president of Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling, says another cool thing is both NTPA and PPL organizations and promoters have offered support and help. The only thing I can come to liken this to is as I'm a teacher by trade, and we had a very unfortunate circumstance this past year where we lost a student. And you kind of put aside any sort of competitive rivalries, and all of our neighboring school systems came together to donate and support. So it's really neat to see when pulling is global, and to see that you know, other places are lending whatever hands that they can. That, you know, that makes you feel good to read stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's neat to see. Had other towns offer to help. I think Dave Nelson's had Bowling Green offer some merchandise that if we do a raffle. One other place I can't remember offered to, but yeah, the outpouring of support has been great.
So track, looks like you guys opened up the track over the weekend, Kurt.
Yeah, Saturday we did just to get it level and see what we had to deal with. But surprisingly, we'll be putting water in it. So
okay,
yeah,
that's
the interesting things of a pulling track. Yeah,
that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard to say, Kurt, but I get it. So I do want to show this. I do want to show this because I want people to know that the track is going to be okay. The Rock Valley Pullers aren't going to have you come out to a shit show. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
it's going to be their A game. The track's going to be good, and all the other stuff. So, Lamar's crew offered to help. Dave, I know Dave, you've been fielding a lot of those phone calls. I've given your phone number out a few dozen times.
Yep.
How do I get a hold of Dave Nelson from a lot of different promoters? Who are some what are some of the things you've been hearing from promoters?
I mean, we got promoters calling saying, "Hey, me and my crew can come over here and help to Rock Valley. What do we need to do?" And so I'm putting them in contact with Kurt Koima, and Kurt Koima over there is kind of coordinated. Rockwell. I mean, so Rockwell, Iowa. Let's talk about the two rivalry polls in Iowa, if you want to talk about it, NTPA and Outlaw. Rockwell called the very day, 2 weeks ago, when we put out there that we were going to have volunteers coming in, and they said, "You know what? We can't make it over, but we would donate our poll site. If Rock Valley wanted to move their poll over to Rockwell, Iowa, you give us 2 days notice and we'll get our grounds ready for Rock Valley to come over and hold their poll over here." I mean, so that's one of many examples of phone calls we're getting from across the polling community. I mean, I don't care what organization it is. Everybody understands that tomorrow may be my day. And so this is my chance to help Rock Valley, because someday Rock Valley may be calling me and wanting to help me and give back to me. And so other promoters calling saying, "We're going to bring our crew over, tell us what to do. We can run tractors, we can watch the gate, we can take tickets, and we can serve hamburgers." And so yeah. I don't want to use the word caution, but I've just told Kurt and Rich Rosenboom of, think about security, not from the standpoint of just from the standpoint of crowd control, because I mean, you're going to have some that just get a little bit too much beverage in them that is going to need some encouragement from crowd control measures, but also just from a safety standpoint, keeping people back from the track, keeping people out of the lineup area, keeping people out of the runoff area, and just keeping it as a safe pull. And I know they've got that covered, but we're all excited just to see how the weekend goes, because there's just been so much energy put into this by everybody, from other promoters to the people of Rock Valley themselves. And talking to Kurt Van Beek here a little while ago tonight, I just said, "Hey, how's the town thinking? What's the town thinking about this?" And he goes, "Every day it gets closer. People are saying, you know what? I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are going on with this, and you guys are going to have this poll." So it's going to be a great weekend. The weather's going to be great. It's going to be a blast. Every night we are looking at opening up and starting the opening ceremonies about 20 minutes before showtime. So showtime is posted. What are the showtimes, Kurt? Is it 6:30, 12, and 6? Is that right?
Yeah, it's some places it's 6 for Friday night. It's been posted. I think that press release, it says 6, but technically it's 6:30, 6.
Okay.
With the potential of the Saturday noon session, depending on vehicles we have. We have last year, I think we bumped it up an hour early, but I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see one.
So yeah, come one, come all. But at the same standpoint, we're going to have a pretty impressive opening ceremony to honoring the people in Rock Valley, probably some people that have been involved in the flood, and the volunteers and the firefighters and people that were risking their lives helping other people. And so that's kind of being built right now. And one of the neat things we're going to do is hopefully Dave Bennett is doing well enough in his hospital bed that on live full poll TV, outlawpolling.tv this weekend, we just like they do over in Iowa City for the football game, as they turn around and wave to the kids in the hospital.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at kind of doing a live tribute to Dave Bennett and making sure he knows that the town of Rock Valley and everybody in Rock Valley this weekend is thinking about him. So it's going to be an awesome weekend.
Yes, as we're just showing the promo commercial we put together to promote the event this weekend. Again, free admission, but there's going to be donation buckets, and I expect all of you to reach in deeper than you've ever reached before. Like I said, Rock Valley is one of the big ones out there in the pulling world, and it's one of the ones that's been giving us great entertainment over the years. And this is our chance to give back to the city of Rock Valley that's willing to do this for us. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Kurt, tell me some positive things that have happened after, what's kind of given you hope? What makes you feel good, Kurt, some days through all this? Because I know you're a volunteer fire department and you were helping get people off the rooftop houses with the National Guard and everything else. What are some takeaways from this for you as a human being that you just, wow, with all this and how people rally? Do you have any stories for us to share? You want to share tonight?
I just say seeing all the people down. It was incredible. It's the Monday after it. I'm surprised nobody got hurt, run over, backed over. There was so many people, and the examples of the outlaw community coming together and cleaning up our grounds was what Dave got together. Was I can't, many hands make light work. It was an extreme. They could have tore down a mountain.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome. And then again, the live stream, and normally this would be on Outlaw Pulling TV fans. Full Pull Live approached Kurt and said, hey, we want to do this on fullpull.live, and then we want to donate all the money back to the Rock Valley Pullers. So what we're doing with our Outlaw Pulling TV subscribers is we're sending you a coupon code to go watch this for free at fullpull.live. You're going to get an email either, I think, tomorrow or Wednesday. I got to talk to Mackenzie, see what she's going to send that out. For those of you, I get it, money's tight. But if you can't afford the $40 or you can afford more, please put your coupon code away and just head over to fullpull.live, spend the $40, and you can then watch all 3 sessions for those of you that can't be there and to do all of that. So how many gates are you going to have, Kurt, set up for people coming in? Is it going to be like what I've seen in the past? I know you mentioned that the one fence isn't going to be there. What is the setup, or has the setup had to change because of maybe stuff getting destroyed in the floods?
The main gate obviously is going to be there. They're getting the fence back up today and tomorrow. But there'll be a gate at the bridge, I would suspect, and then maybe a truck gate. So I think, but people encourage people to use the main gate yet. But yeah, that'll be depending on how much use it gets when the parking is full for that main gate.
Makes sense. I just want to this is the graphic that we put together for Full Pull. To talk about the live stream a little bit. And I've had some, questions about the live stream. Again, if you're an Outlaw Pulling TV subscriber already, we're gonna send you a free code. But if you can't afford to do that, let's go ahead and knock it out from here. But 100% of the proceeds will be donated to the flood victims and relief efforts of Rock Valley, Iowa. Again, I think so. You think it's 6:30 Friday night? I think we went off the press release on this, Kurt. Sorry, so I apologize for that.
Friday night.
Yep. So that makes sense. Dave, when did you in your mind go, I think this thing can actually happen? I know it wasn't your decision to make this happen, but you were very involved with working with Dave and Rich to pull something like this off. What time did you kind of feel like, I really think we can make this happen? Was it the Saturday? Was it during the cleanup? Was it before? Where was your mind at, Nelson?
It was during the cleanup. I had talked to Kurt during the floods and stuff like that. Me and Kurt talk probably once a day or every other day, and just you don't understand the vast devastation that it was up there. But we sat there the Friday night before we did the cleanup, and we're like, how many people are coming? And we're like, well, our goal is 75 to 100. And guess how many we had? We had about 75 to 80 people we had. So we hit our goal. And just watching the people with pitchforks, literally manual labor, just picking corn stalks out of those stands. I mean, it was by 11, 12 o'clock that day. We started at 9 that this can happen. But we just had to be real sensitive to the city of Rock Valley and to those people because, I mean, we all know how many volunteers it takes. And so, I mean, there's still a lot of people from the town of Rock Valley that's going to come help put this on that they may not have a home that they're going back to Friday night. They're going to grandma and grandpa's or to the neighbors. So we had to be real respectful of that. But from the facility standpoint, it was that Saturday easily. And so we just kept rocking and pushing. We left it in the Valley Pullers' hands, who was the promoter there. And they're like, we can do this. And I think we showed them with our volunteer support. I think we showed them on Saturday that, you know what, there's people that care. There's people that love Rock Valley. And I mean, they almost felt like they had to, but yet they could see that they could very easily. So very proud of our promoter, Rock Valley. I'm very proud of our fans and our people that came and helped. And so this will be great, but I'm going to say we're halfway there, Jason. We're not all the way there until it's done Saturday night. And that means a lot of us may be helping out, doing some things we don't normally do as pullers at tractor pull events because there's such a big crowd and they may be short on volunteers a little bit. So we may be stepping up and helping in a few places we normally don't. And I think we can do that. So
Kurt, for camping, is there something I need to do to get a campsite, Kurt, or what's been the procedure in the past?
It's just been first come, first serve. Your picture up there, you can see it in the background. Yeah, I don't know what to say when to come. One year we marked spots, 60 some maybe, but we haven't done that in a couple of years, but usually they're pretty organized back there. We are going to spray very heavily for the mosquitoes. Anybody living in Northwest Iowa anywhere knows how bad they've been, but that starts tomorrow already. And I think we will be spraying the grounds every day. So,
once those diesel tractors fire up, Koima, the mosquitoes, they go around.
When can campers come? I mean, there's a very real possibility in my mind that you could see people trying to get there on Tuesday or Wednesday. I mean, is there kind of an allowable time of when they're okay to start getting there?
I would say Wednesday would probably be they could come. There's hay cut down. We got to get that picked up, which I think we're going to do tomorrow. And then maybe mark things out a little bit, but as far as where people cross underneath, that all fixed out pretty bad. So I would say Wednesday they could be able to start parking.
Makes sense. If anybody's, we're talking with Dave Nelson and Kurt Koima from the Outlaws in Rock Valley, the tractor pull coming up this Friday and Saturday night, 3 sessions. Again, it's going to be free admission. They're going to be accepting donations at there. Has the governor been back out or anything like that, Kurt? Or like, is FEMA's there now? I mean, we went through some floods here in Wisconsin a couple years ago, and I know it wasn't a lot of good things about FEMA. What can people do to help with any of that? I mean, we just need donations, Kurt? Or we have people, we need connections to call some people. What else can we do to help you out, Kurt?
Just the donations. The FEMA, you just got to be patient with. And people got to be careful with what they accept, too, as far as with FEMA goes. We're hearing some stories. But, yeah, you don't know what's true and what's not true.
Yeah.
The governor hasn't been here for probably a week. So.
There is a chance, Jason, that the governor is going to make the tractor pull this weekend.
Okay.
That would be cool.
We're waiting for confirmation back. I've been talking to her chief of staff, and should be knowing here in the next day or two. It's kind of coming up on national convention or something they got going kind of the next week. And so they were trying to work her schedule to get her out up to Rock Valley Friday night or Saturday night. So we'll know more as time goes on. So.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Nelson, I want you to stick around for a few minutes with me. Kurt Koima, I know you're tired. Do you have anything else you want to go over tonight before we let you go, bud?
No. Should be good. There's going to be showers on the ground. Rich just texted me. There's always showers there. I had a puller app. There will be a shower trailer again there. So.
Okay. And then pulling fans, if you want to know who's coming, go to your Outlaw Pulling app. You can see who's pulling in Concord, Ottawa, and then of course Rock Valley. Kyle Petch is updating the app every hour. He's been texting me when new stuff is coming in, and it's been fun, so because a lot of fans want to see who's going to be there. And I think, like I said, I think you're going to see some new faces. Rock Valley has a great reputation as an awesome pull, and now with all of this as well, I'm hoping we see some different faces. So our outlaw members are great, but we kind of see the same vehicles. It's always fun to see some other people jump up. I know Blade Graves are coming up in Diesel Superstock. I checked that a little while ago, so it's all good. Gage Ott says, is pit parking the same in the hay lot as years past? Kurt Koima.
Yes. We probably, the hay lot probably won't open up until Friday morning. But the parking on the north side of the road, we will be putting semis in there Thursday.
Okay.
So, which
I know we're going to finish up in Ottawa Thursday night and head your way, Kurt, with Outlaw TV. So.
Okay. But.
Well, good deal. Kurt, I'm going to let you go. Or do you got anything else, Koima?
No, should be good.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
Yep. Thanks for everything you do.
Take care. Kurt Koima, everybody, with the Valley Pullers. Dave, you've been on the outside kind of helping with all the organization and stuff like that. The mental toll this has to have on this community and for them to still have this tractor pull. Dave, can you talk about just how awesome that really is? What they're willing to do? Because they're honestly, I don't know.
When we were there last weekend, not this past 4th of July weekend, but the previous one where we were volunteering, you could just tell everybody was beat up. You can see it on Kurt's face. Kurt Koima, Kurt Van Beek, Rich Rosenboom, all the Valley Pullers' face. They're just exhausted, and it's going on weeks on end now being exhausted. But one of the neat things, I was in Spencer, Iowa that next week after the flood, which was another town that we pull in that had the flooding experience like Rock Valley did. And the neat thing about Rock Valley was the flood happened on that Saturday, Sunday. By Wednesday, you could drive through town and you could still see something happen there, but that town comes together. That Dutch community, very strong Christian community, they just come together. And that was the neat thing about a small town is farmers are coming to town, business owners are coming to, just doing everything and anything for their small town versus you go to a bigger town. I live right outside a town of 25, 30,000. And you would see the community come together and help each other. But in a small town, it just feels like they come together so much stronger because they are so close knit. And all the business owners just pile in and the farmers come to town with their payloaders and skid loaders and trailers. And so it was really neat and refreshing to see Rock Valley come together and what they're going to pull off here. What a better way to bring in 15 to 20,000 people into your town just 3 weeks after a 1,000-year flood, whatever it was. So it's going to be pretty neat.
Yeah, it was horrible, or it's horrible what has happened. And then
yeah,
I have to put this picture up of Dave and Linda Bennett.
Yeah,
yes. You don't know, and
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff, Nelson. You're good at this stuff. I don't know if you're good at it. You're more eloquent.
So this picture,
Mark Ham,
this picture right here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So this picture was taken. That's Rock Valley, Iowa, right there.
Yep.
And this picture was taken a year ago, on their 20th anniversary of Rock Valley. Dave Bennett came out of retirement because Rock Valley called them and said, "Would you come back and be with us on our 20th anniversary?" And guess what? Dave Bennett did that. And there's his lovely wife, Linda, and we've all either seen her or know her quite well. And my business, my equipment business that I'm part owner in, we bought the business where Dave worked his whole life, just coincidentally. And whenever I'm down there, I go out to Dave and Linda's house and sit on the couch, put my feet up on not the coffee table, but that thing that sits in front of the couch. And it's just like being at Grandma Grandpa's because that's who they are. And whether they're parents to a lot of outlaw pullers or grandparent type figures to the young guns or to just the younger people in the outlaw, as well as just the pulling community in general from Dave's influence at Louisville. Those people right now need our prayers. Dear Linda, bless her heart. She was out doing what her and Dave enjoyed, being on the back of that motorcycle, with Kevin and Lori out in Arkansas, and we may never know what happened, but their motorcycle left the highway, and she didn't make it. And Dave's in pretty rough shape. And I just got a text here a few minutes ago that Lori Bauer said Dave's out of surgery, which we knew that, and they're going to keep him in ICU overnight just for observation, closer observation. But Dave's got a long road to recovery, and he'll do it. We know his personality. He's going to do it. But imagine sitting there knowing that your wife's not going to be there to help you and be there with it. So our prayers go to the Bennett family. Their son and their daughter are there by Dave's side, and Kevin and Lori are still there from when the accident happened this last weekend. I think Kevin and Lori are going to start venturing out to Concord, Nebraska, I believe I heard. I haven't talked to Lori personally today, but I've been told that. And so we need to be very cautious and loving on Kevin and Lori too, of the experience that they've gone through. Of we all want to know so much more, right? I mean, what happened? How was it? Tell us. But you know what? To me, it's a respect thing for Linda and Dave of maybe what happened and how horrific the accident was or wasn't. But we know what happened, and that's that. And so let's just love on Kevin and Lori just by maybe giving them a handshake or that look in the eye or a hug, and just letting them know that we love them, and they're dedicated to the Outlaws, because guess what? They're coming back tractor pulling instead of staying down there with Dave right now, because Dave's got a ton of family there and loved ones there. So I guess all we can do is pray. And it's very easy. I've been watching Facebook. I've been doing the ones with updating the posts on Dave and the prayer request this morning for Dave and stuff like that. And it's how many times do we each catch ourselves saying, hey, I'm going to pray for you. And let's not let this become a figure of speech of, I'll keep you in my prayers. But really, when you sit down at the kitchen table, do you really remember to say Dave Bennett's name and pray for him? So I guess that's our challenge to everyone listening is when we say we're going to pray for you or keep you in our prayers or keep Dave in our prayers, I mean, let's shed life in our words and really follow up with what we're doing and not just let it become a figure of speech. And so,
and Dave was, he was the voice of the Outlaws before Ron was Dave. And then when he got to announce at Louisville, that made him famous all throughout the pulling world. And
correct.
And I had Kurt called me on Friday and told me about it, and I was with some friends in the Ozarks. I said, the guy with the cowboy hat that announces at Louisville. And they're like, no way. Yeah. That was, they're like, who's Dave Bennett? I'm like, but because everybody's been to Louisville. If you're a pulling fan or you've watched the live stream. Yep. And I was like, Dave is the announcer of the, and I sat and talked to him and Linda down on Right. When Kurt called me, Dave, it was just that.
Yeah.
You don't know what to say. And I called Lori the other night just to check on her. And
yep.
This happened to me 12 years ago. My father-in-law was behind me on a snowmobile. I had to turn around because he wasn't behind me. And I know that happened to Kevin and Lori. And I told them, if you ever want to talk about it, I've been through it. And it's the worst thing in the world to come up on your father-in-law. And this happens to people all the time. People get diagnosed with cancer. I mean, our world's full of a lot of badness and how we rally. And I just feel like, with what happened in Rock Valley, and then to have Dave and Linda go through this.
Yeah.
And Dave go through this, and not to have Linda, that's his best friend in the whole world. I didn't know how many kids they had, Kurt. Where do their kids live?
So I think the daughter's out in Virginia, I think, and I don't know where the son's at. Sad to say. I can't tell you.
Okay. Sometimes those aren't the things you talk about at the polls with Dave.
Brian and Siobhan. Brian is the son, and then Siobhan is the daughter. And so, and I'm not sure how many grandkids. I think there's grandkids there with Siobhan, I believe, but I don't want to start quoting facts because I don't want to get something wrong. So
no, I don't want you to either. So, but I do appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you for helping organize all the volunteers and all the stuff behind the scenes. People don't know how much you do or have done or did to help Rock Valley happen with all the people, because it's one thing to live there and go through all that. It's terrible. Yep. Cameron Deep says he lives in Abilene, Texas, has 2 grandkids.
There you go. Thanks, Cameron. Awesome.
But, hopefully, like I said, he's okay to watch the live stream, one of the sessions. And like you said, if we can put together that Iowa Hawkeye wave, Dave, that's a heck of a good idea for something like that to touch him. And maybe give him that little boost of energy and that he needs to fight something. Who knows what he's going through? But but thank you for saying that about thoughts and prayers, because I do it all the time, Dave. Hey, we're thinking of you, but then our busy lives, you just go, 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 go. And I'm glad you said it like that, Dave. Thank you. So.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to let you go because we're not being very fun tonight, and I don't like that. But we have to touch on this stuff, and I appreciate you coming on tonight, Dave, and I'll see you in a couple days. So.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you, Mike.
Thank you so much, Dave. Have a good night.
All right. So
that's
Dave and Linda Bennett there. Yeah, that's
we've both been on the microphone, and you so much more than myself, and I've only been on the mic. You called me a rookie the other day, and I think that's completely correct. I think if you're anything like me, there's no way that Dave Bennett didn't influence in one way or another your announcing style. Like, I find myself up there all the time with just little tidbits or little sayings. Dave is one of those that he's got such a recognizable style of announcing. He's got to influence every announcer out there. So he's definitely someone that we're going to be thinking about. And when you think of the Outlaws, Dave Bennett's name is almost synonymous with that, So prayers go out to Dave. And just another one of those reasons why I know everybody's going to be on their A game and why Rock Valley is going to be so special this weekend.
And Lori's jumping in. Just keep us all in your prayers. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What her and Kevin have seen and had to go through, these are their best friends. They have to drive back and see that accident. And then obviously Dave wakes up in the hospital and his wife is gone. And that would be just hell on earth as far as I'm concerned.
And Kevin and Lori are cornerstones in the Outlaws. I don't think we could say that the Outlaws would be what they are without what they do for us. So it's going to be a hard week for them as well. Just Outlaw family. We just want to stick together in every aspect.
When you're busy and you're going, it's you go, 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 right? It's that quiet time. It's that time at night. It's that day there's not a pull. That's where they're going to need you more than anything.
Right. Right.
Because you can get so consumed in your day just to take care of them with all of that. So I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to move on, Mike. I love everybody. I'm excited to see everybody in Rock Valley. We started out our show tonight with we were in New York, Greenwich, New York. They have their pull this Sunday. Now,
the third pull out there on a very positive and optimistic sounding crew of promoters out there. So I hope that goes well for them.
Yeah, I had to reboot my router. I'm sorry about that. You started out the show without me. That's okay. But did they talk about that's like a big charity deal? Is that what they're talking about?
Yep. It's going to benefit. So that's going to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the Ronald McDonald. How do you say it? Ronald McDonald House or Ronald McDonald Fund. It's called the Pull for the Kids. So comparable to what Rock Valley does, all of that money is going to go back towards, or at least a significant portion, but I think they said all the money is going to go towards those children-oriented charities out there. And there's going to be some good iron going down that track. A lot of positivity came out of that interview. They were a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, they were. And then we talked to Dave from Wilmington, Ohio. They have 3 nights of pulling. What's wrong, Mike?
Dirty Dave.
Dirty Dave from Ohio. Wilmington, Ohio. Saturday night, the 13th, 7 p.m. They got Region 2. I think they had mods, 2-wheelers, light pros, and
hot farms.
Okay.
And hot farms.
But they also have pulling Thursday and Friday. So like Thursday night was kind of the big truck night, diesel and gas trucks. Friday night was kind of their whole like altered farm tractors and stuff like that. And then we talked about Fisher, Illinois. Put that up on the bottom down there. Wednesday, July 10th and Thursday, July 11th, ITPA, 6:30 and 7 in Fisher, Illinois. Jacob Kessler was on with us tonight. And then obviously we rounded out Rock Valley. That's just Friday and Saturday. Again, the live stream will not be on outlawpulling.tv. It'll be on fullpull.live. If you are an Outlaw Pulling TV monthly subscriber and you have an active subscription, we're going to send you a code to watch it for free. But Full Pull is only charging $40 to watch all 3 sessions, $13 a piece, and they're donating all that money back. I get it. If you can't afford it, I get it. Take the free code and run with it. That's what that Outlaw Pulling TV subscriptions is for. It is the best deal in pulling. You get to watch basically 50 pulls for $40 a month. There's not a deal anywhere in the sport like that where you can watch that many pulls for that little amount of money. But if you do have $40 extra and you can, just ignore that email from us for the free subscription and simply say, hey, I'm gonna go pay for this at fullpull.live, knowing that every dollar from that is gonna go back to the Rock Valley Pullers. And again, it's free admission to the pull. There will be donation buckets out there. I expect every single one of you to put more in to those buckets than you would have if you actually would have had to pay at the gate, because this town needs money more than anything at this time. They don't need any more toilet paper. They don't need any more, I don't know, duct tape, Mike. I don't know what they need, but they need money. And, you know, Kurt wasn't picking on FEMA. He wasn't picking on the government, but we just also our government moves. And if you've ever been involved in a natural disaster like this and it's affected you, I've only heard horror stories about it. So, and then of course, all of our thoughts out to the Bennett family. Dave lost his wife Linda in that accident. Our friends Kevin and Lori are with them as well. They were out motorcycling. So when you do put your hands together and say a prayer, and maybe you're not a prayer, just a happy thought, send out to them. You never know how that could affect somebody. So, Michael, I'm heading out to Concord, Nebraska tomorrow night after golf league, and Mackenzie and I are going to drive up to Rock Valley. We're going to jump in the motorhome Wednesday morning and head for Concord and shoot out there. We got Concord. What time is that Thursday night? Let's get our Outlaw app out.
We got 7 o'clock. We got 7 o'clock in Concord, Nebraska on Wednesday night, followed by
Mike. We are working on setting up full pull picks as well.
I was curious. That was one of the many missed phone calls you had from me while you were down there on that slow, boring boat and Lake of the Ozarks. Yeah, one of those missed phone calls was to ask you about full pull picks and how we were going to be doing.
Just try to get everybody signed up. We have nine 3,200 super fields. We have 10 light super stock ags. We have 6. It's regional points for the light limited pros. I'm on the Outlaw Pulling app, everybody, right now. It is seriously the coolest app in the entire world.
Yep.
We have 7 light limited mods. Bodie Ott thinks the Princes are coming down from Canada. I need to get them signed up because I think the light limited mod class would be fun to wager on. And then naturally aspirated two-wheel drives. We have 12 of those. So I'm going to work with Full Pull tomorrow to decide what classes we're going to go with, Michael, for Concord. And then Thursday night, so 7 o'clock in Concord, Dixon County Fair fans, Concord, Nebraska. And then we're going to move to Ottawa, Iowa on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. 3,200 super field. We have 9 so far signed up. Light super stock ags, we have 12. The region light limited pros, we have 13 85s. And our light limited pros, super farm, we have 13 super farms. And diesel 3.0s, we have 5 so far. And pro stock 4-wheel drive trucks, we have 13. So Ottawa's going to be a big show Thursday night, Mike. And then you and I and Kenzie and Ron are going to get cleaned up and loaded up, and we're going to haul balls back to Rock Valley so we get a good night's sleep. That way we can hit the ground running Friday and get everything set up with working with Full Pull Live and the sound and everything like that. And of course, Rock Valley. And then don't forget about David City, Nebraska, Saturday night as well, fans. There's some Heartland classes and there's some Outlaw classes as well. The Outlaw classes are 3,200 super field. There's 6 signed up already. 5 light super stock ags, light limited mod. There's 5 signed up so far, as well as David City, Nebraska on Saturday night. So,
and most of those guys will hook. They're going to be a big weekend for them as well, because they'll actually hook Friday night in Rock Valley. Then they'll load up their trailers and head west over to David City to continue the party over there. So they're going to get 2 hooks in this weekend between Friday and Saturday as well. They're just doing it in a different location. It's a big week to be a pulling fan. It's a big week to be an outlaw. You know, we've got a lot of neat stuff going on.
Yeah. So folks, pay attention to fullpull.live. Pay attention to Full Pull picks this week as well, because we're going to have some real money wagering coming up for you. It was really fun in Whitewright. It was really fun in Toma, and you're going to start seeing a lot of it more often now. If anybody has a question, feel free to reach out to me about that. And if I don't have the answer, I will find it for them. So, Mike, let's go. I'm going to log into outlawpulling.tv right now.
Sure.
And let's watch class together.
Let's do.
You pick a venue that
from this current year.
Yes, sir. That we've had already.
Let's kick it. I'm between 2 of. Arlington had a really good show, but I'm leaning. Let's go to Ravenna. Let's go to Ravenna. No, let's not do Ravenna. Let's do Arlington. Okay, let's do Arlington, and let's do the light. Is it light super stock ag or light supers? There was a mean running 1066 that kind of came up out of nowhere in Arlington. So whatever.
What class did you say?
I think it's light super stock ag. Go to light super stock ag in Arlington. And I think it was a walk-off win that night, but man, there was a there was a mean 1066 that I did not see hook with us last year in a very entertaining class and a very good pull in Arlington.
Give me a second. I think I must have changed my password in Outlaw Pulling TV.
Oh, no.
That's embarrassing, huh? There we go. All right.
You'll have to call Kinsey. Kinsey, what's my password?
Yeah, no, I think I can figure it out. I hope so anyway. So this is what you see as a subscriber for $39.95 a month, fans. And then you come down. Here's some of the ones I've been watching. Here's upcoming live streams. Again, here's the Rock Valley tab that'll take you to fullpull.live. Heartland Division as well. They just had their first pull in Ashton, Nebraska this past weekend. And then here's past events if you want to go back and watch replays. And Mike said he wants to watch Arlington, Nebraska.
Arlington, Nebraska with the light super ag. There's a really good run that I want to look at again in that.
Little turbo started chirping.
Oh, that's the 80. That's the light limited pearls. Here's light supers. Eggs. Do you remember was it later in the class you said walk off?
I think it was a walk-off win. Yeah, I think he
Here's a camera guy, that Mike guy.
I was just gonna say, man. Oh, look at that wheat. Oh, getting right up in there in the action.
This is what makes us happy, Mike, as our Outlaw TV.
This is the pull. This is the pull where, like, I'm a working man. I'm trying to learn this stuff. And you called me. I told Kinsey, I said I had 5 phone calls and 12 texts from Jason at the starting line, and she goes,
"This is what I want, Michael."
You did.
Give the people what you want.
You were calling me at 1. You were like, "Did he break down? Run up there and film that. Run up there and film that."
You gotta give it to him, Mike. You gotta give it to him. I'm gonna be running that camera in Rock Valley. I'm gonna show you, Michael, while you're up there chatting up there in the air conditioned booth next to Rob.
You know what? I'm not sad to be where I am.
Sure gives him a lot of fits.
Okay, so you said later in the class you thought?
I think it was a walk-off win, but I could be wrong. It's the name of the tractor is Still Going for Broke.
Okay, here's the Hawkeye hooker.
No, I think it is Still Going for Broke. Yeah.
That's a good shot, Mike. I'm proud of you.
Jeremy Paulson.
That's what I like.
It only got better at Manila too. We're just figuring stuff out.
I think he set a record last summer.
Now we walk with him as he backs up. Oh, start moving, Mike. You're not doing your job.
Yeah,
concrete in my shoes.
Dennis, go to the Outlaw Pulling app, Dennis, or go to rockvalleypull.com, and you can see all the classes. The pulling orders aren't set yet. Actually, the pulling orders, I think Lori's been pulling numbers. Let me look for Rock Valley. Nope, she hasn't pulled numbers for Rock Valley yet. So, but we have. If you go to the Outlaw app, is what you need to do, Dennis, to see all of that. So, all right, back to the action.
We'll see it in the air.
These guys have had some. They've had some rotten luck to start the season so far. They've taken a couple bouncy wild rides this year. I think this one gets a little Western right here as well, if I remember right. Yeah, it gets a lot Western.
Wow. A little bit wild. That's what happens when you put that much horsepower.
Jamie Yonkey's getting ready.
Folks.
Moving on, ready for Rock Valley in the 4-1 class.
300
Awesome
pounds.
to hear.
Jamie, you're like way ahead of schedule. If you're preparing this early, I asked a question on the Outlaw Facebook page. I said, who is notorious for being the last ones to the party every time? And the unanimous answer was the Moving On Pulling team, Jamie Yonkey and team. So, Jamie, if you're already working on that thing, you're like way ahead of schedule, girl.
I like it. So if I had a good camera guy, he'd be down here already. I'm just saying, Mike, checking on stuff. There's Mike Idle right there, everybody.
Up here.
This is Michael.
Round of applause. He'll be over there at 100 if we need.
I think this is where you called me and you were like, go up there. Like, why are you not up there?
Yeah, I'm going to drive down there and beat you up.
And then there was another one. I think we were in Manila. Oh, look at you. See? You called me. You literally gave me a phone call and you were like, why are you not on that tractor? Don't worry, I'm going.
Oh, shoot.
We had one that got a little squirrely in Manila.
Yes, sir.
And I sprinted up to it. I mean, I got like right by the side shield, and Kinsey's in my ear saying, "Okay, be careful. Okay, be careful, back up, be careful." And I'm like, it's not the worst way to.
As the puller, this makes you sick to your stomach because I know how much it costs to fix this stuff. But as a fan, we have to show this, and we have to get that camera right in there and show the coolest stuff. And that's what it's been fun about FullPull.live and Outlaw Pulling TV, working with both of these to give to show you the angles you've never seen before.
At ake.com.
All right, so let's get to you tell me when you think you see.
Official.
But again, with your monthly subscription, you can go back and watch all this anytime. So there's Scheffler's. It's after Scheffler's, you think?
Yeah, because we just saw the leaderboard and it hadn't ran yet. I really think it's a walk off. I tell you who had another. Hasn't gone yet.
Last took in the class, Don
They're
Schultz.
having a raffle tonight.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the one we want to see.
I haven't seen this tractor before.
I don't think it went very far, if I remember. I don't think he could get it to light. Whites are always fun though.
They had a nice crowd in Arlington. Even though there was rain all the way around.
I swear to goodness, it was raining at Casey's and at like the cemetery.
Did you just say, I swear to goodness? Did you swear to goodness?
Yeah.
You really are. You are so professional, Michael. I'm so impressed.
I'm a high school English teacher. Can't.
I swear to goodness. Yeah, she's not.
Yeah, I don't think they get this one to light.
All right, so
Don Reed around a red against green.
Yeah, this is one of the prettiest single runs I've seen on the whole year. This thing's a bullet.
Nebraska. Still going for broke.
I mean, when you can beat Mark Ulmer and Corey Schluter, you're doing something right.
Kurt Paulson's checking in. Cole Lundell's checking in. Jamie Yonkey's got the motor back in.
I noticed they have it listed as Don Jr. Schulting. I was flipping through an old Outlaw book today, and I saw a Don Schulting Sr. I wonder if that's supposed to be Don Schulting Jr. Is this a father-son pair, maybe?
Not sure.
John Deere in the lead right now. Corey Schluter in the catbird seat at 323.56. Don Schulting Jr. still going for broke.
Spark plugs. Look at him. Look at him running backwards. Yeah.
When the flag guy's got to run backwards.
Yes.
That's PJ too.
That's PJ. He's that wasn't like a gentle back pedal. That was like a fast break. You got to get back to the basket. Like that was a turn and sprint.
Kurt Paulson said his dad had the beautiful noise modified. So
yeah, I was flipping through a 2014 or 15 book. Big shout out to Fred Petch. Fred gave me a bunch of old programs to kind of flip through and learn, and I thought I saw his father in there. And that track was really, really good too. And seriously, it rained. You see those white buildings to the left there? It was raining on them, and it was raining on Ron's announcer's booth, but it did not rain on the track.
Here tonight in Arlington, Nebraska. Give that man a round of applause. Nice.
I'm just so happy that after Ravenna, our Saturday night Ravenna with Outlaw Pulling TV, it was like the worst start ever to a season. We had issues right away with the internet and anything that could have gone wrong in Ravenna, but really got things dialed in now. Mackenzie and Kyle Petch are just doing an amazing job, and our camera people, and Mike, did you use your monopod down in Manila? That thing we got you? Did you use that at all to help?
So what? Yeah, yes and no. I use it, but I use it not the way it's intended. So just having that third, I actually set it like up in front of me, and having that third point of contact allows me to hold that camera way more stable. When I would try to put it down, I'm not coordinated enough. So as I would pick it up, I would trip over it and almost fall over. So now I kind of wear the camera. I will be using the monopod. I'll just be using it in a funny way.
Perfect balance right there.
I would encourage any human who is interested in being a tractor pull announcer, and I went and told him this after the show, go back and watch this single session of pulling. This was one of the best shows I ever heard Ron call, and Ron always calls perfectly, but Ron got the game ball after this one. I mean, he was so much fun to listen call this pull. So if you want to be an announcer, go back and study this one.
No, and honestly,
there you go. There's your Case IH leaderboard.
Ron's one of the best. You know that the Outlaws are so fortunate to have him, and
still going for it. Don
you get to learn from him, Mike. It's awesome.
Takes the win.
He's a very easy person to work with. He's a stud.
Not sure.
Philip Chrysler in the Show Me Chevy. It's a mean run in a pro stock four-wheel drive.
16.19.
Hey, if I gave you one guess to guess who won this pro stock four-wheel drive truck class that night, who would you guess?
Keith Hammond's bipolar.
That would be your guess, but I think he actually didn't win that night. I think
what?
It might have been.
I'm going to look it up on the Outlaw app. I think this is the only one he hasn't won this year. Nope, I would be wrong. Keith Hammond's won. That's what Keith does.
Keith wins. That's what Keith does. He wins. He wins tractor pulls. Yeah, so we go live ahead of the show so we can test stuff out and get things out and kind of see some of the track being built and stuff like that. But with your Outlaw TV subscription, you can go back and watch any of this anytime like Mike and I are doing tonight. So outlawpulling.tv, fullpull.live for the same thing. Again, Full Pull Live is going to be taking over the live stream in Rock Valley, Iowa this weekend. $40 donation. You pay $40 to watch all 3 sessions of Rock Valley at fullpull.live. And then that money gets donated to the Rock Valley Pullers. Again, if you're an Outlaw Pulling TV subscriber already, we're going to be emailing you a free coupon code. Use it if you need to. If you don't, please spend the $40. I know it's $40, and it feels like 2 subscriptions, but I know a lot of you are subscribers to Outlaw Pulling TV and fullpull.live as well. Fullpull.live mainly focuses on NTPA Grand National right now, but I know they'll be doing more in the future. And obviously, Outlaw Pulling TV is all the Outlaw pulls, but Outlaw Pulling TV is the best deal. You get all the hooks, all the pulls. You can go back and watch them over and over again.
And it's a well-produced product. And I said that before I knew you, and then before I knew that you had it, and then before I started working for it. Like it's a very, very good product. When we're in Rock Valley, will that still be the Outlaw Pulling crew producing and then run?
It's going to be a joint venture of Full Pull Live people and Outlaw Pulling TV people. So,
and what about announcing? We're
using house sound. It'll be you and Ron, and then I think Fred is doing the winner stuff in there.
So no, because that is an interesting thing that the Full Pull does. They usually bring how would you call it? Like live stream announcers. They have live stream announcers separate from the announcers that are at the pull. But here you'll just be dialing in to the announcers that are in house.
Don Schulte Sr. had a single engine modified called Family Tradition. So cool. Let's wrap this up in a few minutes. If anybody has any questions, thoughts, concerns, please throw them into the comments for Mike and I. Again, thanks for jumping on here again tonight, Mike. Every Monday night, Let's Go Pulling. Been talking to promoters. We talked to Greenwich, New York tonight. We talked to Wilmington, Ohio. We talked to Rock Valley, Iowa. And we talked to Wilmington, Ohio tonight on the show. No. Tomorrow night, you'll have Outlawed Live at 7 o'clock. Have you been doing your green flags and tight chains right after that, or do you kind of roll it into that? What have you been doing?
Green flags and tight chains was on a 2-week hiatus while I was on vacation with each side of the family. Then it was a joint show last week as I hosted Outlawed Live solo. Tomorrow night, we will be back in full action, 7 to 8 or 8:30 or 9, however long Ron and I want to talk. We'll be Outlawed Live. And then immediately after will be green flags and tight chains. Your exclusive look into the outlaw social media and Facebook fingerprint on the world, where I will be going through the questions and the hypotheticals and the content. So that will be back rolling tomorrow, circa 8 or 8:30. But I never want to put a cap on how long Ron and I can get to chit-chatting.
And I got to do a shout out to Seven Hills Brewery in Dubuque. They just got their remedy beer done for the summer.
Saw that. Is it delicious?
Yeah, I had some tonight. They don't ship, you guys. They don't ship. You need to stop in Dubuque at Seven Hills. We're hoping maybe next summer to have some actual distribution, but it's a cherry ale, Seven Hills Brewery in Dubuque, Iowa. That's the only place you can get it. I will bring some to some pulls. I didn't have time to grab any tonight, but I will grab some for some future pulls and check it out there. But I'm just flipping through my Facebook. There's my wife and I at the Lake of the Ozarks, thanks to Brandon and Megan Holzhauer. So
I want to quickly compare the boating experiences that you and I had this weekend. See, I don't know if you know, but I bought a 14-foot John boat with a trolling motor on it. And I just can't imagine there would be any more fun way to experience a boat than what I got to experience this weekend.
Oh, Kevin Davis, Wayne County. Kevin wants us to bring some to the Wayne County Fair in Wayne, Nebraska. Kevin, Mackenzie and I stayed at Kevin and Terry's house on the way home. They live just north of Lincoln. We stayed at their house on the way home from Texas, and that kind of broke up our drive. It was great to hang out with them.
Kevin's the man. Kevin is a diehard pulling enthusiast. He's an outlaw family member, and he's just a great, nice guy. Met him at the banquet and consider him a great friend ever since then.
Yep. So there's the remedy beer. Again, we're not shipping it, nothing like that yet. But if you're going through Dubuque, Iowa, stop into Seven Hills, grab yourself a remedy. It's kind of cool. They have, the TV screens with all the beers flipping up on there. It's kind of neat to see the remedy coming up on there. So pretty excited to see that. We rolled this out a couple years ago. We didn't do it last year. We kind of forgot about it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And they did it again this year. So Brad Holzhauer has a badass boat. I'm just going to talk about it. So I got to ride in his 39-foot MTI. And he said to me, Jason, what's the fastest you've ever been in a boat before? So I think in my father-in-law's fishing boat, maybe 45 mile an hour. And I'm going to scroll down. Oh, the No Fear Deer baiters route in Edgerton this weekend. Chandler went down to that pole, and you want to talk pro stock we haven't seen out in a while. So there's a pro stock. If that video's up on the Badger State page, let's see here. There's a text in. There's Blade Graves being awesome. Texas, No Fear Deer. My wife.
So I'm having moral qualms there. So they're coming to Rock Valley. They're pulling outlaw again. Now, my boss man here, he drives a pretty cool diesel super stock.
Yeah, I don't drive anything. I overfuel and
you sat in the seat Saturday night. So of course the Remedy's my favorite diesel super of all time. But the Red Horse is what made me a pulling fan. Like when I was 2 years old, like that was the tractor I fell in love with.
It's got to have something to do with it.
That was us getting gas. Jason Hill, the 3.0 diesel truck, Jason Hill, Hill's brothers.
Yeah.
He sold his truck to Cody Lee, and this kid at the dock had a Hill Brothers shirt on, so I thought that was pretty cool. When I got him, let me find some video. I got to take you. So this boat is unbelievable. And there was boats everywhere. I mean, it was crazy down there. And then we did a minnow shot at Dick's.
Yeah, how was your minnow shot?
That was different. I've never really drank a fish before. This was this kid. This kid named Colton, I think, and he had a Hill Brothers shirt on. And I said, "Let me take a picture. I want to text it to Jason Hill." So that's what he did. I thought that was pretty funny. So this is Brad's boat. It's an MTI. It's a 39-footer. There's Brad and his wife Megan. Brad's a promoter of the Pullers Championship. Great guy, and they invited us down for the weekend, my wife and I. But the Ozarks is a hoot. I mean, super relaxing, just a good time. We had a blast down there. We went down and saw my boss, Jeff. He was on do you know the Lake of the Ozarks is 95 miles long? Like, that's insane.
It's a big lake. We call it the Big Lake. There's two lakes that we go to, the Big Lake and the local lake.
Did you see this one? Chandler made this one. This is so funny.
I was waiting on this to happen. Like, this is perfect.
Oh, I love it.
And if you've ever sat outside Freedom Hall or Broadbent Arena at the National Farm Machinery Show, like that's legitimately about what you're gonna hear. Like that is exactly what those pro stocks sound like trying to get going.
So these jet skis are like bumblebees, Mike. That's what they call them. So Brad and Megan have a big cruiser that makes a big wake, and these jet ski guys, Mike, they just wait for you to make a big wake, and then they come blasting off of it. So I was videoing some of them. But and then this guy had all these rubber duckies. So I know the Jeep thing, they're always making fun of that. So I made that video. That was funny. Here's getting some stuff. Here we go. We're getting up to 100 here. This is pretty awesome. So I don't know if you ever gone 100 mile an hour in a boat before, Mike, but I can say I have now. So it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
That looks horrifying. That looks
actually
terrifying.
I swear to God, it wasn't.
Go click on my profile picture and you'll see what my boating experience looked like this weekend, and we can compare who had more fun.
I gotta show you a cool picture of Brad's boat. This is so cool. But these MTIs are legit. They're legit.
Does he sell them?
No. This is his. This is his toy. Mike Idle, Facebook. Look at you being a good engagement specialist. Got Concord up there.
Click on my profile picture. It'll show you the boat.
Yes!
Now there's a boat, man.
That's America.
Look who I've got running the trolling motor.
Your kid.
Yeah, my 5-year-old's back there. My wife made me crop the picture, so I'm holding like a 32-ounce beer in my other hand.
Yeah.
Since I'm a teacher, she's like, you can't put that on social media. And I'm like, you know what? Like, whatever. So that's why my left hand disappeared. So
I love it.
That's a boating experience, my friend.
No, dude, it's all about it. Wasn't for Brad, I wouldn't get a ride on boats like that either. So. But it was a good time. It was a good time. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with Mike and I tonight, and all our awesome promoters that bust their butts to put on great truck and tractor pulls. We're looking forward to this picture. Reminds me of grumpy old men. Oh, I love it.
He's got good comments. His comments are perfect. We went noodling, man. We were out there grabbing them.
Did you really? Did you stick?
No. But someone on a John boat holding the Missouri flag, that seems like a believable story, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, everybody, Mike, you want to sign us off, and I'll get my end of show video ready. Go ahead, buddy.
Yep. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Grow Pulling It this Monday night on July 8th, Freedom Monday after the 4th of July. Greenwich, New York, Wilmington, Ohio, Fisher, Illinois, and then of course a whole week of outlaw pulling capping off in Rock Valley, Iowa. Check it out. Watch a pull. Go to a pull. Pulling is fun, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Have a good night, everybody.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere out of Iowa coming up. We got one right behind you.